And I'm so honored to have on the show Kyla Jade. It is such a pleasure to hang out with you tonight and sip some whiskey. But first of all, I have to say I love your glasses. Those are some beautiful
Well, thank
glasses.
you. Well, before you go any further, thank you for having me.
Oh,
It's my pleasure.
absolutely.
I'm super excited. What a great way to end my day. I'm geeked about it. So thank you for having me. And
What
if you
is
like a
your
pair of glasses, I
what's
could
that?
if you do like these glasses, I think my prescription is probably 8 times yours, but we could always trade.
I would totally trade. I had a pair of glasses that were similar to that, a little different in color, but similar shape. And then
Mhm.
my 1-year-old took them and broke them.
Yeah,
So
the joys, the joys. Yes.
children love to take glasses off your face. You know.
Well, I like to sleep in mine, so I have a bunch of them that when you put on, they're like this because I fall asleep in them. It just comes
Oh,
with the
okay, all right.
territory.
You got to explain to me how you fall asleep with glasses on because that's like an
Is
enormous.
the first thing you do take it?
I-
I'm a reader, so
Okay,
I sometimes get into bed with a book and I'll wake up like face down on top of the book and on top of my glasses. That's pretty much what
I get that. What kind of books do you like?
I am. I read everything. For a while there, I was reading just my sister's book. She's a therapist and writing her papers. Occasionally, I read. I love fiction. I love nonfiction. It just depends on my mood.
I love that. So like, all right. So like, when we talk about fiction, though, I mean, you can go down the science fiction road or the
Yeah.
fantasy.
Well, I'm a Trekkie. First of all,
Oh my gosh, I'm a
I
Trekkie.
grew up with Star Trek. Like I am definitely the biggest nerd. I'm actually right now. I'm reading a book by Bell Hooks called All About Love, and it basically takes this version of love and defines it in a different way. Where the one thing that got me is that she says love is a choice. You don't trip and fall into love. You make a conscious effort every day to love someone. So the concept of, oh my God, I just tripped and fell in love is false.
Mm.
You have to make a choice. And I was like, that's interesting. So it's been extremely insightful. So that's what I'm reading right now.
Okay. So my wife and I, we met, and that was one of the things where we bonded on was Star Trek, and our series was Voyager. What was your series? Oh, you don't like Voyager?
Voyager. It wasn't bad. I'm a traditionalist, so my favorite, of course, is Jean-Luc Picard. So that whole series is my absolute favorite. But then I go back to, because you have to love Uhura, you have to love her when you're someone like me. So then I go back to William Shatner's age. By the time we got to Voyager, I think I was in college, so I was kind of like, classics or nothing at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Dashed with beautiful dreams. I'm so sorry. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys bonded over that.
I don't know why it resonated with us, but I will tell you that Deep Space Nine, just like I liked a couple episodes of it, but that was one that was the tough one for me. I couldn't get into Deep.
I was pretty much over it once Deep Space Nine came out.
Yeah, but I mean, Next Gen. Let's be honest, Next Gen is where it's at.
Everything.
The original. Did you ever watch the cartoon series?
No, I didn't. There's this thing on it's out, I think, that takes you down like memory lane of all those old Star Trek and the Star Trek versus Star Wars drama and the action figures. So it's actually really dope to go back and look at all that stuff and how they made it and how terrible. Remember the ship when it came out, you could actually see the string at times. Like, that kind of stuff is absolutely fantastic.
Well, I just we would go to Vegas specifically to go to the Star Trek experience there.
That's amazing.
And yeah, they tore it down, but it's sad.
No.
Yeah,
that is very sad.
But I still have we have all our little keepsakes. Like, I'm not a collector of much, but I do love my Star Trek stuff. So
as you should.
I don't get to talk to many Trekkies, and in the music world. So
I am absolutely. My mother, she has the whole little beam me up thing, little pin that sits on her desk, and occasionally she'll just hit it. And I think her ringtone, her text message ringtone right now is Wharf.
oh, I love that.
Yeah, we're serious. We're serious.
He's the toughest character of all in every series. Like no one messes with Worf.
I mean, it's the Klingons. The Klingons. That whole idea of that race is just boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's boss and it's crazy. I think if I were to, that's always the question. If I were to date one of the Star Trek aliens, it would definitely be a Klingon. But then I would be a tough Klingon too, so I could like fight him and still win, I guess. I don't know. Because I feel like they're abusers to an extent, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to like you going out with your girlfriends.
I might need to rethink that theory.
Yeah, I think they're the jealous type. So
probably. Might want to rethink it.
Oh, I told you before we got on the show that my neighbor is a big fan of yours, and I tell people, like, the guests I have coming on, and when I told her you were coming on, she was like, oh my god, and you just and I've had, like, people on from American Idol on before, and there's like a certain like level of fan that you create when you get on those shows, and like you resonated with people who watch The Voice in a way that I don't know many people have. And I'm curious, do you feel that? Do you feel that kind of like connection, through the tube?
I definitely feel a connection to the fans. And the thing about The Voice and American Idol is they have deep-rooted fans. They have fans who have been with them from the beginning of the show, and they are protective of the show and of the brand. And it's an interesting thing to step into because there's such a responsibility that I hope people understand that comes with that kind of platform. And so coming in, it was just I think I was older. The beautiful, sweet babies who were in the finals with me could have been my children. They were literally, well, maybe not. I wouldn't have a child of 15, but they were 15 to 20 years younger than me. And it is their purpose, their drive, what they were doing was very different from mine. I understood who I was coming in, and I understood that anytime you have a platform, you have to be very wise with what you say and very wise with what you want to do. And so I wanted people to have an experience. I wanted them to reminisce. I wanted them to escape. I wanted them to change, to be motivated, to feel better. Like, that was very important to me because those are the ideals that I grew up. So if you can travel with me, then maybe you'll stay with me. And so I think that's kind of why it felt different, because it felt familiar. It felt like, I don't know her, but she could be my sister, she could be my cousin, or we could hang out sometime. I think it was just that come with me kind of thing. So, I that's all I can say. Everybody, I had good and bad, but the good always outweighed the bad when it came to the fans.
Well, I know those competitions are not easy. I know that kind of stuff is a different level of stress that no one can possibly imagine. And you did well. You did well, and you came out on the other side. And right now, I mean, you're represented by the same people who represent some big names like Johnny Depp, and I mean, you've got a lot of people interested in what you're doing.
On that and seeing my face, I wish that I had recorded that moment, because I went to the website and I was literally scrolling through all of the names, and then to see my little chocolate face in the middle of this list of amazing people, I was very overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with gratefulness, and yeah, it was crazy. I am still kind of pinching myself about that.
Earned. And shall we celebrate with a little bit of whiskey?
Yes, we shall.
Now I
Where's your
understand. I understand you are a tequila drinker, so I appreciate.
I am.
I love tequila. By the way, my favorite tequila right now is El Tesoro. Take a look. It's the extra anejo.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you'll have to fill it out and send it to me later.
Will do.
Check it out.
I might actually. I'll send you a sample.
Can I talk about your welcome package for like 2 seconds?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
I got the box. I was super excited about it. You know, we're social distancing, so I opened the door and it was there, and I smelled it before I opened, and I said, "Oh, he's trying to kill me." That was my first reaction. And then it was packaged wonderfully. Congratulations to your
Thank
team.
you.
It's wonderfully packaged. I got my book that I was super excited about. Little pun here. And then I turned these little bottles around. And I said, I saw 98 proof. And I said, Father, in the name of Jesus. And then I saw 120 proof. And I realized that you couldn't possibly want me to ever sing again. That's what I determined. I determined that you don't want me to be able to sing.
Oh. So I will say that a lot of people think that those higher proofs are good for the vocal cords. They're not.
I just looked. I'm so excited, but I'm terrified. I want you to know that I'm terrified. And I'm excited, terrified at the same time.
Well, we don't have to. Do you want to put water in them before you? I'll do that. We can do that.
No. Oh, we're
right.
going for it.
Now I'm all nervous. Like I'm the guy.
You should be. You should be nervous. I'm going to send you my doctor's bill when I come out. So you should always. I'm very rigid. So if I actually had to do work, I would not be doing this interview with you today, because I am very, very rigid about how I maintain. I don't talk. I'm very, very, one, because my voice is kind of low and I sing really high, and so alcohol actually makes my voice sit lower. So I can't do any kind of nothing.
It like dries it out. It dries out your vocal cords.
But I'm off this week.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a great day.
All right.
Oh, and I also got the smaller shot glass that I own. So
that's like might be a sake glass there.
It is. It is my little sake glass. I lived in Japan for 6 months. Actually.
Oh, wow.
So I have a bunch of really, really cool things that I brought home from there.
You know, I love Japan food. I love their beer. They make great whiskey.
They do.
Everything is
good because it's fresh.
Yeah.
Everything is fresh. Yeah, the food. So where I lived, I had this really cute. Which one should I start with while I'm talking?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and I want to start with the Blood Oath Pact 6. Now this is a bourbon that is finished in cognac barrels. You know, so cognac is a different category. So what they do is they take the bourbon and they finish it in these special barrels from France. Now, maybe if I walk you through kind of a little bit of a tasting kind of ritual that I do, maybe we can actually not, maybe we can avoid that doctor bill, because you won't.
No, don't try to avoid it now. You clearly didn't care.
I'm already there.
Don't backtrack. I'm ready.
So our palate and our nose are connected, and they're, sometimes we smell and we taste what we smell, and sometimes we taste while we're actually smelling. And so the smelling process, I also I like to look at the color, because when American whiskey goes into the barrel, it clears the water from your tap. So every single day it's in the barrel, it's like getting a little, how
cool is that?
Yeah, it's getting all the color from that barrel. And and so what I do is I like to swirl it around a little bit like that, and kind of push the aromas up, and then bring it into the nose. And then when I smell, you want to work both nostrils.
Why are you smelling to the side? Oh, both nostrils.
Both nostrils, yeah. Because one nostril could be clogged, What both of them smell very differently. I actually just did this interview with Indomitian Sue, and we were talking about like in football, like people break their noses a lot, and
Yes.
and how like that will shift your sense of smell if you've damaged your
Wow.
nose at all. And
Yeah.
so like that's why you have to be a little like over here, like I'm getting kind of like earthy smells on my right side,
Hmm.
and on the left side I get some sweet smells.
Yeah, it's the same on both sides for me. It smells like a good time.
I love it. And now that we smell, like, and then we taste. And so but when we
Okay.
taste, we just put a little bit on our tongue.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't supposed to shoot
No,
it?
you don't shoot it. This
Oh my! I clearly do not know tasting
See,
protocol.
this is
'Cause I was
why
like, oh, man,
this is why you're threatening me with doctor bills here. It's because,
I thought it was.
you're just like kicking the whole bottle backstage. Like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
Can you tell that I don't have a lot of? Yeah. Okay.
It's all
Good
good.
to know.
But
I'm okay. I'm better now.
we just put a little bit on there.
Little bit on our tongue. Okay.
And then you want to fill it. You want to work it all around your tongue.
Oh,
From the tip to the middle to the back.
I am the worst taster ever. I just want to say that I swallowed it immediately. I'm the worst taster ever. This should literally come with like children instructions. Like I need a pop-up book. I suck at this.
Something
Okay.
to add to the package.
I just want to point out that you're like, work it back. And I was like, oh,
Oh, I wasn't supposed to drink the whole bottle already?
did I tell them I swallowed it or not? I'm kind of embarrassed right now, Fred.
Oh,
I
you're
should
good. You're
I
good.
should have done my research and now I clearly don't know. I'm really, but it wasn't bad. Let me just say that. It wasn't bad. It is very warm. It's very warm. I don't know smelling it what I expected it to taste like. But it's very warm and actually really smooth. Thought I was gonna die. I didn't.
Well, we're definitely working our way up. I think this is the lowest. Oh, actually, it's not the lowest of the proofs, but it is of the lower of the four. It's on the lower half.
So what's this rumor? Okay, tell me what's next. Wow.
Oh, hold on. You got a rumor? You got a rumor? Like a
No,
juicy scoop?
I've heard a rumor that we were from the same city or close to.
Oh,
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Oklahoma.
I'm from Kansas. So that is true.
Yeah. You're from was it Atchison?
Topeka.
Topeka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Topeka, Kansas is it's a very nice little town.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
It's very like, there's no music, but it's definitely, if you're not going to church, probably not singing anywhere. But it really was a beautiful place to grow up.
So how many tornadoes did you survive growing up?
We saw them all the time.
I can't even count. I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, but again, like, you go to your porch sometimes and watch it because the calm before the storm is beautiful. The weather is beautiful and there's a tornado. They're visually arresting, and then you go down to your basement.
Yeah.
It's over, you come back up.
We didn't have a basement, so we would go in the hallways and pile clothes on ourselves.
That's awesome.
I mean, that was like Tuesday. All right, kids, tornado's coming.
Yeah, but we had tornado drills where we went to the hallways and down. Yeah, we grew up understanding that phenomenon definitely and how to operate it.
And now you're in Nashville, right?
Yes.
And so now, like, I'm sure, like, when the weathermen are like, all right, everybody be careful. We got a tornado warning coming in. You're like walking out like, I'm from Kansas and, that's maybe an F1 and it's going to go in a random field, south of here. So I'm going to the
Well,
park.
Nashville actually had a really, really, really bad tornado right before COVID.
That's right.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But what was interesting, I was actually in Hawaii, and my sister FaceTimed me, and she said, "It's tornado weather." And she turned the phone around, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it is." And she said, "And this one's going," and she literally said, "This looks like home, but this is going to be bad." And Nashville was so slow to understand. No, this is bad. Yeah, it was.
I have found that, and I think that's kind of like what I was trying to get at. Is like what I found is like the weather. People don't understand tornadoes unless you grew up in them. Like, I'm scared to death of earthquakes, but people who grew up around earthquakes are like, "Oh yeah, no, that's nothing."
Yeah.
But,
we feel the earth shaking. It's a little different for us.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Definitely.
But you do, when you grow up in the tornado areas, you have like a sixth sense of what they're going to be like. So overall, what did you think of this one?
I like this one. I would casually drink this one without any problem. Actually finish it.
Nice. So in Kansas, were you a Kansas State or Kansas fan?
Well, here's the thing. I liked K-State basketball, KU football.
Wow, that's an odd combo.
Yeah. And my parents both went to K-State, so it was kind of interesting.
So I went to Oklahoma State, and I liked both schools. I liked Kansas and Kansas State a lot.
They're good schools.
Yeah, they're really good schools. Kansas was like really good for like if you were an English major, which was kind of my background. And so now let's go to the Elijah Craig.
All right, 94.
Yeah, this is a rye whiskey.
Definitely different taste. Ooh, that bottle is really pretty.
Look at the bottle there.
I love pretty bottles. Do you keep your bottles?
Well, I have thousands of them, so.
Well, because you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't keep them empty. I actually have a guy who makes soap dispensers out of them.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't like to waste things, and so the bottles have a lot of life after.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Okay, so rye is made. Rye whiskey is made out of the rye, the grain.
Okay.
And bourbon is predominantly made out of corn, and so you have two very different styles here of whiskey. So you're going from one that's a bourbon that's finished in a cask. In fact, all four of these whiskeys are very different.
What am I pouring? Man, this is like I need. Just spilled it. I want to cry. Like I need someone to pour for me and apparently try things for me. So okay. You said it starts like water, but then it gets darker. Are any of these like super, super deep dark, or is this the color that kind of maintains?
No, every year that it's in the barrel, the darker it will get.
You said that.
Yeah.
I'm there. My bad. Okay.
All right, here you go.
Okay. Okay, yep. So I did it differently this time. And I let it sit on my tongue a little bit. So this one, like, immediately tasted stronger. Okay. But it could be because I let it sit.
Well, so rye typically shows itself as kind of like a spicy.
Yes.
So like a pepper.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. So you tasted some spice there, my friend.
I am learning. So far, I like Blood Oath better.
A little easier on you?
No, not that it was easier, but the spice was interesting.
I say interesting when I don't really like something. So that's a good use of
I don't. I just think it was interesting. I don't like it.
All right, so let's I guess how are you I guess we'll ask you a couple questions before we go on the next one. How are you holding up right now? Because you're coming off like a really great couple years and you're on everybody's like rising star kind of trajectory, and expected to like play some major venues and everything, and then boom, COVID. So like this has got to be a very difficult time. It's a difficult time for all of us, but
Mm-hmm.
for like you can just feel your dream just kind of being like put on hold for a minute. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how are you?
The word is difficult. I am a processor, so I tend to take things in stride most of the time. I don't allow immediate things to affect me, and I think what's an unfortunate, comforting thing is that we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
So I found other things. I started building my own studio at home, started recording at home, writing more. So, and I love to teach. So I tried to find other ways to have that creative outlet. I love performing. I love traveling. I love meeting people. And that was hard for me because I've been doing it. I've been full-time music for 12 years. I've been doing traveling and touring, and so you just have to almost learn who you are again. And so I did that. I started gardening and trying to remember what it was like to be still. And so it's actually been a very reflective. I started therapy. We talk about that for a second. Having a therapist has been the best investment of my life. And so that's it. The music, the thing about being a musician or just being passionate, you're passionate about bourbon. The thing about having a passion is that your passion is not defined by people. And that is where I'm okay, is I'm going to be a singer and performer regardless of if I have an audience or not. It's who I am inherently. And so that has been my safe haven in this dark, dark time, is that I literally love to wrap myself in the music if it's just me and my dog. So I'm just, it just helps me, once I drop these COVID pounds and we can get on the road again, and I have a lot to tell. I have a lot of stories and songs, and we're going to be all right.
Well, I'm so glad, to hear that positivity, because, a lot of people kind of get stuck. What I've found is some people have like this instant, like, we should be able to play, we should be able to do this. And then some people are like, we're going to be all right. We're going to get through this. We're going to fight. And,
well, you have to be more than the music.
Yeah.
You have to be more. And I teach that to a lot of up and coming singers who wanted to leave their jobs and pursue music. And I was like, yeah, okay. So what happens when you're 4 years down the road and you have no insurance because you weren't wise? So be more. I'm more than just this. I can do more. It's who I am in essence, yes. But so let's teach. Let's do private lessons. Let's still find a way to communicate music without allowing it to overwhelm you. You just gotta think differently. That's all.
And I know you're a woman of faith, and
yes.
And I think it's hard for a lot of people right now, to have some faith because of the state of leadership and throughout our country, and also because every time I turn on the news, there's a new virus being born. Just the other day, bubonic plague. There's another strain of COVID coming up, allegedly. There's another flu, H1N1. I'm just like, for God's sake, what are zombies coming?
Yeah. Right.
So I guess, like, because you are so, like, you're very vocal about it, and if you have a word or two for someone of, like, about your faith, like, how does that help you get through this time?
That's a great question. And I think the fact that people are questioning just means we're human. I don't think it's fair because I feel like people are being judged for questioning and having questions about faith. And I don't think that's fair. I think it is a very human thing to question what's happening around you and not being able to be in control. But that's the gist of it. You're not in control. And that's very hard for people who plan, who have their life thought out, and to not be in control, to not be able to know what's happening is what faith is. Faith is literally having no idea. And I really make it very simple. I asked a friend of mine not too long ago, we were sitting there and I said, well, did you check the chair before you sat down? Did you shake it to make sure that all the legs are going to hold you up, that the back wouldn't fall off, that you wouldn't fall on the floor? Did you shake it? And she was like, well, no, why would I do that? I said, because you had faith that this chair would hold you. I was like, it's not as big and broad as you think it is. It's an everyday getting up and making a choice to say, okay, I can't control this situation. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. That is simply what it is. That's all. Be kind to people and be kind to yourself. You do those two things, it would change the world. And unfortunately, we're in a society right now, we can't even do those two things. We're not kind to ourselves and we're not kind to others.
Yeah. I love that. And I hope people listening and watching, can pay that forward, because those are true words of wisdom. You ever thought about running for political office by chance?
What's funny is I started college as a political science major because I wanted to be a lobbyist of all things. And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna go sing somewhere.
You might have hurt yourself on the checkbook, but you saved yourself on the happiness.
Right.
I mean, lobbyists, they make some bank,
They do.
I mean, good God. I mean, I saw a report on like what they made. I was like, holy crap.
I know, but I mean, look at you. The way that you touch people and give people an opportunity. You didn't have to ask me about that. You didn't have to ask me my beliefs or things that were important to me. And I appreciate people like you who give people like me a platform. I haven't been on TV in 2 years. Let's talk about that. The Voice was 2 years ago. You did not have to call. You did not have to clear up all of my sinuses today with this wonderful bourbon. But I believe that everything happens for a reason.
I do too. I do too. And I did have to call and request this because I like your music. I'm a fan. And like I love music. I don't have a music talent in my body. But what I can do is I can drink bourbon and talk about it.
There you go.
And so when they said you were like agreeable to like come on, I was like jumping up and down because I love your voice, and you have a voice that is not duplicated, and it's real. Oh my God, I'm so tired of like fake music. You have like a real voice. In the league of like Aretha Franklin, and I hope you know that, and I hope others take a moment to listen to you, because it's I know it's hard in music. I know it's hard, and I know it's especially when you're on one of those big shows. You got the high of the world on you. And then you go out into the industry that's like, jabbing at you, taking this, taking that, getting a cut here, getting a cut there. And, it's hard for a lot of musicians to.
It's just really important to have a good team. I'm definitely blessed to have a team that covers me and shields me from unnecessary foolishness. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about. I can actually be an artist. I can create and feel safe with the people around me, that my image and the things that are my values, the things that are important to me are in the forefront. And that's been a real blessing.
And what I love is that you never, in all of the songs and everything that you've done, you've never gotten rid of your roots.
Oh, no.
That like
Listen,
gospel
I'm gonna fight for
style.
anything. I'm gonna fight. You know why? So you said Aretha. She's clearly my number one. She is my shero. She is everything, down to her carrying her purse on stage because she wanted her money before she sang. Like, I love all things Aretha. But the thing that people don't know or don't realize is that she sang every genre. She sang every genre, even to country, to rock, pop, soul. She sang every genre, but she always was Aretha in every genre. Mm-hmm. She had the ability to go from a country song to a pop song to a bluesy song, but it all felt like her. And when I realized that that was an option, I was like, oh, okay. I don't have to be stuck in any kind of box. I can literally sing whatever I want, but just make it me. And that's what helped me on the show, is that I was like, I'll sing whatever. Let's have fun. As long as you understand that I'm going to make it me. And if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. And Blake was such a...
And you went really far too. Like, let's not kid ourselves. You did well on the show.
No, thank you.
I mean, so that paid off. Like, now there's those again. That was like to me that was forever ago. But what I see is you. I don't see a show. I see you, and I see this amazing personality, and I see a talent, that comes around every so often, and you have it, but you're hurt right now because we can't see you. You can't get out there. Mm-hmm. I hate this time for you. So if this little bitty whiskey interview and talk can give you mine. His name's Dave Sweet.
No, seriously, that's like super dope.
Yeah,
that's a dope.
It's a pretty cool bottle. I mean, it's actually, I can't grip it very well. It's like falling out of my hand.
No, that's really cool. It's like the cooler and then the barrel. Yeah, that's a really, really cool bottle, and the coloring is gorgeous.
It's a pretty bottle. Mm-hmm. Now it is. This is not a bourbon. This is the Barrel and Bottle. This is a straight malt from Town Branch. This is 10 years old. Now you're going into a different category of whiskey.
Okay. So in that, of course, it's like wine. The older it gets, the more what?
Typically it depends on the category, but typically the older it gets to a point, the better it is. But if you see a label that says 40-year-old bourbon, stay away from it.
Why?
Because bourbon has to go into new charred oak barrels, and so it takes out all the rawness of the wood, whereas Scotch is going into used barrels, so the barrel's already been worked, and a lot of those kind of ripe wood sugars have already been extracted by the bourbons. So if you see a 40-year-old Scotch, which is in a different climate as well, then you are looking at something that is quite a bit more palatable than... Yeah.
Okay, so what started you? I'm about to pour. What started you in this? When did you decide to...
So, let's taste some good. Now taste it. Now this is an important one for you. Okay. Don't shoot this.
I haven't shot anything since you told me not to.
Yeah, don't shoot this.
I learned the first time.
So I came home from Iraq. I was a soldier.
Oh goodness. Oh, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. And I get I'm trying to get a job, and the only job I could get was as a food editor for a magazine. Hold on. Did you taste it? Is it doing the number on you, or is it not doing the number?
Wow.
It's good, right?
Who would have thought that would be that good? Wow. Okay, continue. I should have waited. Okay, you came back and you could only get a job in the food industry.
I want you to enjoy the whiskey.
I'm enjoying it, but please continue.
It's good, right? So I get this job writing about food when you write about food, you eventually write about alcohol. And I started writing about bourbon in 2006, and then just kept going. So that was the start.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of happened upon it.
Yeah. And my wife's a big bourbon fan too, so she's like, "Oh, keep writing more about bourbon," and then she drinks all my good bottles.
As she should.
Yeah. See,
As she should. I'm a fan of her already.
Oh man, let me tell you, you would love my wife. You would love my wife.
I believe it. You're not bad yourself, so if your better half is like you, I already know I like it.
Well, we're planning to come to Nashville soon, so maybe we, go like have a drink in person.
Yeah, I'll take you to get some great food, and you tell me what to drink with it. We can work on pairings.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I'm really excited.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
this is great.
This is your favorite so far?
Yes. Yes, very much so. Even the smell is different.
I'm with you on that. So this is finished in sherry barrels.
Sherry barrels.
Oh wait, no, this one's not in sherry barrels. No sherry barrel. But it's got a hint of sherry in it, so.
Well, there you go. There you go. I guess I was anticipating it being way more aggressive.
Mm.
I just assumed that with the proof it would be way more aggressive, but it was still really, really, really smooth.
Nice.
Look at me with drinking the bourbon. You may pull me over to the other side.
Well, listen, tequila is a respected, beloved side.
It is.
So I love tequila. You won't find many bourbon drinkers who don't like tequila. Now they'll say something like, "Well, when I drink tequila, I'm a little different," but
yeah,
they don't argue about the taste.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm kind of sad we only have one more.
Well, I was gonna say I could grab something from the back, but I mean I could pour it for myself, but
there'd be no sharing.
Yeah, there'd be no sharing. It'd be. Oh, wait, you know what? I've got a teleporter. I've got a transporter.
There you go. Beam it up. Beam it up.
Okay, so who's your favorite Star Trek character after Picard?
After Uhura.
Oh, you said Uhura and then Picard.
No, Picard was my favorite captain.
Oh, he's your favorite captain, and then
favorite captain. Okay, let's see. Yes, of course, Worf. This is because I had a crush. I think it might be Scotty. Just because he was always so stressed. He was always so stressed, but he always got the job done. It was just something about the stress for the first 30 minutes about how he couldn't get it done and he couldn't do it. And he was overwhelmed. And then he came through all the time. Everybody needs a Scotty.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Who's yours?
I'm a big fan of the Vulcans.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, and going back to Voyager, I was a big Tuvok fan.
Oh yeah, Tuvok is great.
I love Tuvok. Yeah. Tuvok was like, and the thing is like, that actor, Tim Russ, he had some reoccurring roles and everything. Like I've followed the careers of these actors and everything, and it's like, and he's like one of those guys he was a hustler, so I think I really liked that character a lot because he was one of those guys that had a lot of roles but never really made it after Star Trek, and I just thought he was such a great actor and never got the opportunities he should have.
I agree with that.
But
you have to love Georgie LaForge because butterflies in the sky. Yeah. How can you not Reading Rainbow. Like, I mean, there's so many classic characters. So, what did you think about the remakes?
I thought they did a good job with it. I was disappointed that they did the remake of Khan at first, and then I watched it and I was like, holy shit, that's good.
Yes, yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really liked the boy who's playing Curtin. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
And Spock. Both of the guys who played Kurt and Spock were great. Actually, I love them all. I thought the remakes were great. If I thought we were going to get like a real Wrath of Khan, and I would have probably freaked out. That's probably one of my number one Star Trek movies is Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
All my favorite. I mean, you can't get past the scorpions
in the ear. Yeah.
Yes.
Every time I see a bug with my 6-year-old, I'm like, you know what? You gotta be careful. It'll crawl in your ear. You know, and you know, cockroaches actually will crawl in your ear and burrow in.
And spiders.
Yeah. So I mean, that's actually a real phobia. You should actually be concerned about.
So gross. I don't even know why I agreed with that. Yeah, it's actually really disgusting.
You know, I remember in some places in the Army, like you would put ear things in your ears so stuff wouldn't crawl in there. So
this face is internal screaming. I just
yeah.
The idea of that and the nightmares that are going to ensue because of that is pretty.
Yeah. It is 2020, so we're probably all set for what's to come. So batch 21, this is Barrell Bourbon. This is a 10-year-old as well. This is a blend of straights, which means it's a blend of straight bourbons from 3 different states, Tennessee, Indiana, and Kentucky. There's a lot of like legal parameters that go into putting something on a label. And this is one of those that kind of does a really good job of like being very transparent.
Okay.
But this was a contender last year for me.
Okay. So it has a little familiar, it's a little bit, it's not like the rye where it was spicy, but it's a little bit of like it feels up front, like the rye kind of did me.
Okay, so
not as much.
Getting some of those spice notes there. I've got a note in this one that it's pretty unique. Have you ever eaten coconut straight from like a shell? Like,
yeah.
Do you know that like when you get a little bit of the woody part in there along with the coconut, it's like a bitterness?
Yes.
I get that in this. I was like,
okay, that description feels accurate. I think I just don't have the right descriptive words for it. But yes, like a little bitterness, because it's not, that's why I said it's not exactly like how the rye made me feel, but it was a similar aggressive feel that kind of stood out.
Well, like I told you earlier, like I have like my gift is drinking bourbon. You know,
you got it down.
You've got singing like actually people care about, and you know, I mean, all I can do is taste.
So many people care about this as well.
Oh, that's true, but they want to drink it, not listen to me. You know, there's a difference. So, all right, so let's take a look at the bourbons that we have here, or the whiskeys that we have here, because they're not all bourbons. And this will be a good way for the listeners or viewers, depending on if they're watching us on Amazon Prime or Apple TV or wherever. What? Give us a song. Give us one of your songs to pair with each one of these. Each one of these products.
Ooh. Okay, let's see. One of my voice songs. Let's see. This is fun.
Can you do you have your stuff out that you?
I have both.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. What a fun game. I'm really excited about this. Okay, because it has to be perfect. Has to be perfect. So for the rhyme, I would have to start with it because it was not my favorite. So my song would be You Don't Own Me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys. So that'll be my song for it.
I love it.
Okay. Let's see. Barrel in a Bottle, which I loved. So let's see. I can do Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Look at my mind floating away. I guess I would sing that when the bottle's empty. Okay. So daydreaming for that one. Barrel and Batch 21, a blend of straight bourbons. I have a song for both of these. So Blood Oath Pact and the Barrel Batch 21 is a song I put out. It's called Make Up Your Mind. I won't be forever for you to take your time. That's what they're singing to me. You better make up your mind. What's it gonna be? Always and forever. It don't apply. You better make up your mind. What's it gonna be? And I haven't, which is why I'm gonna continue.
I love it. I love that. Yay! I normally have like an applaud button, but I love it. So what was your favorite of the tasting?
Barrel in a Bottle. Or was it Blood Oath? Wait a minute. It's between Barrel in a Bottle and Blood Oath.
They must fight to win your palate.
To the death.
To the death.
I feel like they have different. I would do Blood Oath Pact as my easy drink, like just my relaxing, sipping on my balcony, talking to my plants. And I would do Barrel in a Bottle when I'm getting dressed up to go out and want a little. So they both have their place.
Okay.
We've been bombarded. Hold on. He can say goodbye.
Is the puppy here? Oh, oh my gosh. Look, 13 years old, you said?
Yep, no teeth, and
oh,
he just wants to know what's happening right now. All right.
Wow.
Sit down.
Well, I mean, it's just such a pleasure to, to chat with you and hang out.
No, thank you for having me. This has been so much fun. So much fun. I'm a complete fan. You will see me on all of your socials, just stalking and liking.
Love it.
Because you're
in here. And we've got.
I thank you so much for even just having me.
This won't be our last tasting either,
I'm with it. I definitely can't wait for you to do some tequila stuff, so we can really
do that. I do love tequila, so.
I'm always ready. You don't listen. I'm always ready for a good time.
Now, how do you like your tequila? Do you like it in a cocktail, or will you drink it like sipping?
I'm always ready.
Yeah. Yes is the answer.
Right on. For the finals, Blake bought me the biggest bottle of 1964 I've ever seen in my life.
Oh wow.
And that was his. I'm proud of you. I know you like tequila. And so he bought me a big bottle and told me congratulations. He was proud of me and sang good. So
you did that impression very well. That was a good impression. I love that.
That's my buddy.
I love it.
Buddy. Yeah.
Well, as we kind of sign off here, and it's been, man, this has been a long interview here. I think when you click with someone, it kind of happens, right? You just kind of keep talking and sipping whiskey. So I appreciate you taking that time
No, thank you
with
for
me.
having me. Sorry, producers, you got to edit. We had a good time.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
tell us where people can find you. What new do you have coming out? What new music? What new stuff do you have coming out? Speaking of
I'm
editing,
Kyla Jade on everything. It's the easiest thing ever. KYLASAINGS on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. And I have some things planned. I'm really wanting to do a lot of things with pushing artists, making sure people are voting and getting out there. So I want to really, really hit that hard coming up. And we got a record coming out. Been working on it for a long time. I just wanted to take my time with it. And then COVID happened. So we're going to wait until I can actually tour it and you can spend some intimate time with me because that's important.
But yeah, I'm curious. Are you a perfectionist when it comes to those things, or will you just...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been producing music a long time. So it's hard to take your hands off when you know your sound and you know what you want. You can tell from the show, I picked my clothes, I did my own hair, I picked my songs, I arranged it like it was going to represent me at my best.
Wow. Well, I think there is a lost art in that kind of like that closed eye and looking and knowing what you want. So many people just put stuff out because you can put it out. And I'm guilty of that as well. But
we all are to some extent. We all are to some extent, but we grow and we change and we adjust, and we'll be like Barrell and Batch 21. Spend 10 years cooking it up and come out with something beautiful.
Now there you go. So there you go, folks. She just picked her favorite. It's the last whiskey she said. She thought it was going to be a Blood Oath there for a minute, but she went to Barrel and Bottle. Well, Kyla, it's such a pleasure having you on. And
you are a joy. You're a wonderful host. And thank you for having me.
Cheers, my friend. This won't be the last time.
Cheers.
Cheers.